Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Barbell Baddies podcast. I am your host, NPC wellness competitor Marisa Beltran. On this podcast, we'll be talking about fitness, bodybuilding, mindset, self-belief, and all things in between. If you're a person who's interested in going to the gym, wanting to learn more about bodybuilding, wanting to create better habits to achieve your goals through self-belief and mindset, then you're in the right place. Before we start, how's everybody doing? How's everybody's day been? How's everybody's week been? I honestly kind of miss you all. I truly love speaking to everyone, and I feel like speaking to everyone once a week is not enough. Should I post like 2 episodes a week? I don't know. What do y'all think? Low-key, like DM me or even send me a pigeon letting me know if you'd like to hear 2 podcast episodes a week. I am honestly recording this at 5:46 p.m. and I have been up since 4:30 in the morning. I know that sounds crazy, but I purposely got up super early to be in the gym by 5:30, 6 o'clock because I want to start creating more content. And I'm way too nervous right now to record at busy times or even like when there's just a few people there. So I'm thinking, okay, let's get to the gym around 5:30, 6 a.m. Nobody's going to be there. I'm driving there. I'm so excited. And I pull up and the whole parking lot is full. I'm kind of laughing because it's like, well, this is just a sign that I need to not care. I need to just record what I want, have fun, be myself, and not care what other people think. But I did not record it. I will say I did not take that advice. I did my workout, I did my cardio, and I instead ended up recording somewhere else. But I had a really good day. Like, even though I was a little sleepy, I got my lashes done, and I feel like I took a nap then, and that helped a lot. But I've been up since 4:30, and I feel great. I feel really good. I feel really excited to record this episode. So I would say to check in with myself mentally, I'm doing really freaking good. And physically, I will say I'm getting a little sleepy, but that's fine because I plan to go to bed early anyways. But I'm still feeling really good. Excited to dive into today's episode. So to get started, today for episode 5, I can't believe we're on episode 5 already. But for this episode, I want to talk about why I chose the division wellness when it comes to competing in the sports of bodybuilding. So for anyone who's confused, because when I heard wellness as a division for a sport for like bodybuilding, I was confused. When I hear the term wellness, what do y'all think of? Because when I hear the term wellness, I think of a person who likes to keep a healthy lifestyle. But in bodybuilding, wellness is a division for women to compete in. Wellness is actually a new division here in the United States. It's not a new division in general, just new to the United States. Other countries already had this division. So it's kind of interesting that in bodybuilding, there was an inequity. In the bodybuilding industry, women who had naturally or genetically bigger legs couldn't compete in bikini because, and we'll review that later in this episode, but bikini, you can't have really big legs. And if you naturally have bigger legs and you wanted to compete in bikini, you would have to run down your legs doing a crap ton of cardio. If I wanted to do bikini, I would have to run down my legs. And if people didn't want to compete in bikini, the next division was figure. And if you didn't want to work towards a bigger body or upper body that figure has, then you weren't left with many options. So then came wellness to the federations here in the United States, or at least the Federation of NPC or IFBB. They introduced wellness, I believe, in 2019, 2020. And honestly, thank goodness, because I personally don't know what I would do since I do have bigger legs and I don't want a bigger upper body. So according to the NBC and IFBB Pro websites, the major divisions that women can compete in are bodybuilding, women's physique, bikini, figure, fitness, wellness, and wheelchair. The major divisions that men have the options of are bodybuilding, men's physique, men's classic physique, and wheelchair. Not every bodybuilding show will have all of these categories available, but in general, those are the main or like popular categories. So when I was learning more about bodybuilding and figuring out what division I wanted to do, I cut the options down to bikini or wellness. According to the official website of the National Physique Committee, or NPC, which is the federation I compete in, there are a few other federations that people can compete in, but in this episode, we're going to be talking about the NPC Federation. What the judges are looking for in general for all divisions are 4 things. It's muscularity, condition, symmetry and balance, and presentation, or really posing. When it comes to muscularity, I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, muscularity. The amount of muscle will vary between the divisions. And when it comes to conditioning, which is how lean you are, how much fat do you have on your body, will vary depending on the division. And then, of course, symmetry and balance is a given. And then presentation. And when it comes to presentation, that's about posing. That's about your facial expressions, I would say like your presence on stage, the tone of your skin. You still have to look healthy no matter how lean you are. So I feel all of that ties into presentation. So to begin, let's start with bikini. According to the website again, bikini athletes should display a foundation of muscle, which gives shape to the female body, full round glutes with a slight separation between the hamstring and glute area, small amount of roundness in the delts, a conditioned core, and for the overall look, hair, makeup, suit, and tan, they want everything to look good. What bikini athletes should not display are muscular density seen in figure physique competitors, squared glutes, muscle separation seen in figure competitors, graininess, and striations anywhere. And for those who are not familiar with graininess and striations are the tiny grooves of muscles across major muscle groups in a highly defined body. Having striations means you can see the stretching of the muscle, sort of like steel cables or stretched plastic wrap. Graininess is a combination of very thin skin stretched over super dense muscles. It's kind of confusing, so maybe we can have another episode about bodybuilding and like fitness terms. But honestly, I personally didn't even know these terms existed. And it's funny because my partner, my boyfriend Danny, was telling me the other day about when you cut steak, you have to cut like against or with the graininess of the meat. And I'm like, what? I've only ever heard the term graininess in bodybuilding. And if you think about it, we're just pieces of meat walking around. So that's kind of interesting. But from my understanding, the bikini category has potentially been the most appealing category to women entering the sport of bodybuilding, especially since, and I quote unquote, it requires the least amount of muscle. But I feel like people misinterpret that because you still need a good amount of muscle to compete in bodybuilding and to do well, especially in the pro level. It's just that compared to other divisions, you need the least amount of muscle. So comparing it to other divisions, you might need the least, but you still need that muscle. Bikini judges in general are looking for a classic hourglass figure with particular emphasis being placed on the shoulder muscles, a small waist, and good, well-proportioned glutes, in addition to having a good skin tone and presentation on stage. Now, with wellness, according to the official website of the National Physique Committee, or NPC, this division is for females with athletic physiques that showcase more body mass in the hips, glutes, and thigh areas. The upper body is developed, but not to the same degree as the lower body. So I feel like in this instance, wellness, we don't have like a balanced body. Our legs are going to be bigger than our upper body. So what the judges are looking for in the level of conditioning or stage leanness is almost on par with bikini athletes, but wellness athletes will have slightly more muscle. They want to see a little body fat with slight separation but no striations. So now, are the abs defined like figure or less defined like bikini? And they do want their abs to be similar to bikini. What about the shoulders? Rounded and capped like figure and women's physique, or less pronounced like bikini? In this instance, they do want slightly more developed shoulders and rounded caps than bikini, but less than figure. But not as lean and with no striations, not like women's physique. So it's kind of in that middle between figure and bikini. So now, how about the definition for the quads? Because we're wellness, we have, bigger mass in our lower half. The quads should display an athletic appearance with slight separation but no striations, not as lean and defined as figure and women's physique. And what about glute development? They want full round glutes with a slight separation between the hamstring and glute area, but no striations. They want it as the same as it is for the bikini division. The glutes will be bigger than the current bikini competitors, because since you do have bigger legs, like you will naturally also have like bigger glutes, and you also do want it to be balanced. So if you have, big legs, but then you have small glutes, it doesn't look good. It's not balanced. And I grew up having bigger legs, a bigger mass in the lower half of my body. I played sports like softball, soccer, and I also competed as a baile folklorico dancer that helped my legs grow. And while like natural body shape plays a huge part in where you fit in the world of bodybuilding, you should not forget that this is bodybuilding. Therefore, the objective is to build your desired physique in the gym with weights. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, like I don't feel like I fit into any of these divisions, it doesn't mean that you can't build yourself into that division. So just because you don't fit the criteria for, let's say, wellness, that doesn't mean you can't grow into the category. You can definitely still grow into the category, but it might take a little longer, or it can happen very quickly. This is where genetics comes in as well, in addition to that person's lifestyle habits. So once I told my coach what I was interested in, we both agreed that my legs are too big for bikini, which is fine with me, because another thing I thought about when choosing a division, and what you should think about if you're thinking about competing in a bodybuilding show, is what will you feel comfortable in when it comes to off or improvement season. And when I mean by off or improvement season, that's where your calories are higher and your cardio is really low. So as an example, let's say for wellness girls, we will have bigger legs due to having big leg muscles. And so when natural fat is slowly added back, which is needed, you need fat on our bodies, your legs will be even bigger. And also, fat is not a bad word. And I hate how society made it seem like it's a bad word when we need a healthy amount of fat on our bodies. And that will look different on everyone, because everyone's body is different. So anyways, your legs will be bigger. Will you be comfortable with having bigger legs in that off and improvement season? And so let's say that you're interested in competing in figure, which figure competitors are working towards having a bigger body, and you still need to have legs, and that's where it's proportioned. Where like the muscle amount you have on your legs, you should still have that on your upper body with the small hourglass shape. And so personally, I love to train legs and I don't like to train upper body. So figure competitors, they're working towards a bigger upper body. Are you going to be comfortable with a bigger upper body when fat is added to that muscle? And another thing I thought about was, what do you like to train? What do I like to train? As I said, I love training my legs and always have. If I didn't like training legs, then it probably wouldn't be a good idea for me to do wellness. And the same goes for competing in figure. If I wanted to be a figure competitor but didn't like training upper body, then we're going to have issues. You still need to enjoy your workouts. So yeah, that's how I chose to compete in the wellness division. I figured out my body type and what body type I would feel comfortable in during off or improvement season, and also what I feel comfortable dominantly training in. I think this was also a good little intro about bodybuilding. And honestly, I have so much respect for each division because each division is difficult and everyone works just as hard to build muscle, to maintain muscle, and to get stage lean to present those muscles to the judges, to present the physique they created through hard work and discipline. I always tell everyone that bodybuilding is basically a muscle beauty pageant. So I think that'll conclude today's episode. Let's do our usual and share some gratitude. Let me know in the Q&A box, email me, or DM me 3 things you're grateful for today. Let's see, what am I grateful for today? I am grateful for days off. Super grateful for those. I really enjoyed my day. As I said, I got up at 4:30, but I had a really good day, and I felt like I was able to use all the time in that day. So I really want to start getting up earlier. So grateful for my day off and being able to get up early and get everything that I need to get done. Number 2, I'm going to say I'm grateful for, my family, my parents, my grandparents, my dogs. Dogs are part of the family. I'm really grateful for them, for my partner, for my boyfriend, Danny. I just feel really supported in everything I do. So I'm grateful for them. And number 3, I would say I am grateful for, oh my gosh, this is kind of hard, but I'm happy that I practice this and I practice this with all of you. I'm going to have to say I'm grateful for my job. Even though, I know all of us at times don't want to go to work all the time. We're not feeling it. And even when we get there, it's like, oh my gosh, I just can't wait to get this over with. But I'm truly grateful that I do have a job, and I have a job that I would say I'm pretty good at and I truly enjoy. And, what more could I ask for in a job? It's something I'm good at. I have fun for the most part. And I think I'm well at it, or I do a good job at it. So, as I said, this will be the conclusion of episode 5, Why I Am a Bodybuilder, Wellness Girly. I hope everyone has a beautiful week, and maybe we'll see each other here soon. Maybe it's twice a week. Have a great day, everyone. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. This podcast was inspired from my obsession with anime and bodybuilding, so I wanted to create and find a community of like-minded individuals. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a review and a 5-star rating. Higher ratings and positive reviews can lead to increased visibility, making it easier for new listeners to discover this podcast. You can also follow the socials in the podcast description notes and DM me, email me with any questions, episode topics, or feedback. Bye!